Hello and welcome to Art 13131, and we're in the last week of assignments, week 10. We also have three assignments this week to end up, and then also week 11 will be a finish up week where you're finishing up your assignments. The final is due at the end of week 11. That's Sunday, and that is to mat and frame your own work. So you're matting and framing your best work that you've chosen out of all you've done in this semester. So one of the assignments. It could also be a special drawing that you drew that you think is the best too, and I may tally in on that having not seen it. So that's a possibility, but you could you just get your own one of the own assignments that you're happy with and I was happy with. That would suffice. So matting is the kind of a cardboard or paper framing over the drawing and under the frame, and the frame, of course, it goes around. So it's a matting that you get that won't cut off your drawing. You got to map that out and get the right size. And these can be purchased at the various stores, art stores for sure, and also Walmart and thrift stores have a lot of um, frames and matting and stuff. Maybe you just take what's in the frame out and put yours in, and that's an option for that too. So that'll be due at the end, and I'll make another video for the last week and outline all that once more. What we're talking about here is the number 19, which is Introduction to Figure Drawing. Now I realize it's a beginning class, so I'm not going to look for that much in it, but I do want you to shade the body, the arms, legs, torso, whatever you're showing, the body in a particular position. I want you to have the proportions correct, and then also shade like we've been shading the face, but now you're going to shade the whole body that way. So I'm going to show you a couple of things here proportion wise. Um, Usually in proportion, they measure things by the head length. So, like in the baby, the head length is there, then down to middle torso, there's another head length, then down to the knees, there's another head length, and maybe to the feet. With reason, right? And so that's how all of these are mapped out. So you have more of a 12-year-old, you have a head size, and then right under the breast is another head size, possibly, then down to uh, belly button or below, another head length. This gives you a way of measuring what you're drawing. Now, I'd rather you not make up something. You're actually looking at something, but that may not be possible for everybody. So go ahead and use something like this, but these have no shading at all. So you're going to need to shade your drawing. And you're talking about more adults here. Um, the shape obviously is different typically on men and women, depending on the man and the woman, but take this as you will and draw what you will. I'm leaving it open for that. It doesn't have to be a perfect looking body. It can be one that isn't quite model-ish. Of course, model, that's a big word, right? They have full-size models. They have real thin models and everybody in between. So let's just leave it open. But what I do want you to do is either have someone just standing that's okay, but get the proportions right. Head length there, down to the breast area, another head length, down to the belly button, another head length, down to right below the pubic area, where the legs start. There's another head length, and on down to the knees, in middle of the calves down here, and then down. So you don't draw somebody with really short legs or something like that, or big head and short body or something. gives you a little something to start mapping out and reference. Go back to it when you're drawing and say, hey, did I make that head really huge or really small compared to the body? Map it out and compare it. Then there's a few examples on Bing and stuff. I'm going to provide a video on shading body parts, and I think it focuses on an arm, but you can use that for all the rest of the body as well. This does give you some proportions in here again to get started, but what I want to see, not that everybody's going to be buff like this guy, but even something like this has shading. And it's a beautiful drawing, even though it's a little abstract, but it does work. There's a light is hitting this side, not so much on this side, on the knee and the leg on here, and then you have a cast shadow over the leg from the foot. So that does work. It's just extremely abstract, but I'd rather you get a little more realism than that, but we can go there if you make it strong. So this is showing proportions and positions, different positions. And a lot of times you'd make a gesture drawing, if you're doing this straight away without looking at somebody, that you make a gesture drawing, or maybe you're looking at somebody, you make a gesture drawing of them. We used to do this practice where a model would come in and stand on the table and do a pose of some like these. And we would make a stick drawing sort of it and a gesture drawing, and then we would start going even further and continue with all the other muscle tone and muscle, and then shade it. Okay, and that's a good practice. Well, this body could be in any position. It could be standing, kneeling, stretching, sitting, laying. Anything like that will do. The main thing is that you shade it. Okay, you shade it appropriately. What the heck is that? Okay, I'm out here in the light on my computer, so I really couldn't see it all that well. But you see the different positions that people are in? So this gives you an idea of what those look like and how to map those out as well. You can put somebody in any position you want to draw the figure. It's okay. And there's lots of ways to do this, Look at how great that is. There's a lot of shading, a lot of contrast. But you're getting the figure in there, and there's light and darks on all the body parts from the light source. It seems to be coming from the top left slightly. Beautiful. And then there's other examples here. But this really speaks to what I've always talked about, that a lot of contrast makes a very strong drawing. It really comes out at you. Now, there's some background here too that's separating the body from the background, because that's darker than that, and every place it meets up with the body, the background, it's either darker or lighter. So then you have that difference. And you could even do something like this, and then you have but you do have the shading here. Okay, could be this position, but the shading is on the arm, right? You have light and dark areas all through here that show the muscle tone and the roundness of all the muscles in the arm, or where they're flat or where they're bulging out, or as they turn. You're getting that done with the shading, so that's very important that you use that shading. Here's some more positions over here. Any of these would work, but I want the shading, and you don't have to have them be totally naked, or you could have somebody be naked too. It's fine. I'm approved to do that in this course. In fact, I had some naked drawings, but I somehow lost them, so I'm not showing them. But I did show them in previous classes. Sorry, but I don't have it. But you could make it either way. You could draw it naked, or you could draw it with clothes on, or partially with clothes on. But when you do clothes, leave at least the arms and the legs so I can see some muscles. shading. You know, if you want to put a little dress on a woman or whatever, whoever, whatever, you know, but leave some arms and legs and the head, of course. But you're going to shade that, okay? I'll say it over and over and over. Shade, 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 shade. Don't show me something with no shading, because you're just going to get it right back, and I'll say, hey, can you shade this? So, yeah, we should all know that by now, right? Yeah, and this is more the body structure and a lot of muscle tone things and stuff. But, so, I'm trying to find something. There is a better drawing than that, but I want the full body. Not just part of the body, okay? But put it in whatever position you want. This is kind of getting lost here, but oh well. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll go back to the other one. Let me see what they had on the bottom here. Human, 12th female human figure. You know, it can be any position like this. But do the shading. Could be a dancing. And in fact, you could combine this with the homework if you do the dance, because the homework is about drawing something that has to do with either with dance, drama, theater, or music. One of those, or all of them if you want. But if you do dance, and it's a person in a position, a human form that is shaded, then you can combine that with number 19. I'll give you 2 grades for the one drawing. Okay. Music, not so much, because that's a separate thing. And here's some music drawings right here that are about music. They can be abstract, they can be surreal, they can be different, like the music note ideas here or something else. Saxophones. There's all kind of ideas with the music. Go through these and get an idea and do something like this, okay? If you're going to pick the music, there's tons of them. I mean, really, really nice ones. And you can use color, too. In fact, I prefer the color. If you want to use color or paint, colored pencils, however you're doing the color, let's do this, okay? Okay, and actually I will even branch out and allow you to combine any of these with the color. If it's a dance and color, and it's a person, I'll combine all 3 and give you a grade for all 3 for the one drawing. Okay? So this is a combination. I'm helping everybody out with a combination on this. Any one of these drawings for homework in color will get you a grade for both. Any one of these drawings, or the dance with a human figure and color, will get you 3 grades for all those. Okay? Have fun. Look at the video about shading body parts and muscle structure, and it will show you all about that. So that'll help you in shading your human figure. Even if you paint, you're going to need shading in light and dark versions of whatever color you're using for your drawing. You're going to need to use 2 different shades of tan, or 3 different shades of tan, and darker and lighter to show your shading. All right. And going on and on to whatever colors you're using. Show your shading through the colors, tints, and shades you're using. It won't be just one color through the whole thing, or 3 colors that are separate but no shading. You don't want to do that. You want to have it shaded, or I'll ask you to do it again. All right. So look for my last video next week. We'll talk about the final again. Get all your stuff to me ASAP, because we're headed into the final week.